Let's talk about something else that's come up in Alabama in the last couple of years, the two-year college business. The accusation that legislators that have a job with the state are somehow double dipping, cheating the taxpayers. You have a job at Calhoun. Do you think that's going to be a campaign issue? Do you see this as anything wrong to have a state job and being a member of the legislature?
I was an educator when I was elected. And I am a strong believer in whatever job I have, that I do what is expected of me. And I have not found or seen anyone give me any reason why I should not have the opportunity to have such job if I'm performing my job and doing my duty. And I think that's my responsibility as an employee. I have since retired. I retired from Calhoun in March of last year.
So you are not currently employed at Calhoun?
I am not employed, no.
Are you employed anywhere else,
No,
or are
I'm
you
not.
a full-time, part-time legislator?
I'm a full-time, part-time legislator. Now that is very well put. Even though we're listed as part-time, it is really full-time work.
Sure it is. Sure it is. What about the Medicaid budget? I know that's another big problem in the Alabama budget when y'all try to find the money for everything. You need money for that. How do you deal with the health care issue at the state level?
I serve on finance and appropriations, and one of the things that we always do is say that those areas where we feel the need is great, we're going to make sure that we fully fund those to the best of our abilities. And I think the chair and the members of the committees have done a good job in doing that. That will be the issue this time. Based on the dollars we have, we will have to make sure we fund it as well as we can based on the amount of dollars we have. Now, do we always get all of the things that we want? No, there's not enough money. But I certainly think that is a #1 priority and will continue to be.
Are you pleased that the President's economic stimulus bill is passed? Do you think Alabama's going to benefit from that?
I understand. Now, I have not had the kind of evaluation and run through from the fiscal office. I put a request in today to give me some information in terms of how it does impact Alabama. But I think whatever we get, if you heard the conversation over the weeks since we've been in session, everybody's waiting on the stimulus package to see if it will bail us out of some of the problems that we have financially. So I have not been able to get all of that information to determine exactly how it will best impact our budget. But I am grateful that it has been passed.
Do you think that's going to ease the education budget at all?
Oh, I hope so. I think so. I would think that, for me, that is the major challenge that we face, because we know that individuals losing their jobs, that means that our students are going to be in larger classrooms. And I'm hoping that it will impact us in such a way that we would not have a layoff of employees, teachers, and individuals that's needed for the classroom.
What are the greatest needs in this district, in the Huntsville area?
The greatest needs that I think is, one, making sure that we have our education system, making sure that we have the resources to give our children a good education. We are a city that is growing. We have a number of new people that will be coming to the city, so you will hear the other need will be roads, the infrastructure, making sure people are able to get to and from work in places that they need to in the area. And making sure that there are businesses and jobs that are available. And in addition to that, making sure those individuals that need jobs are trained to do the work that is required of them.
Do we have the institutions in place already that are doing that training, or do we need to redirect some of the programs?
I don't know if it's we need to redirect the program as much as we need to coordinate the programs to make sure. And I think on last Monday there was an effort made with workforce development, that the meeting that was held here that Chancellor Burns called, which consisted of the chamber, community colleges, the four-year schools, small businesses were all a part of that meeting. And when we do that, that partnership, that team effort, if we look at those areas where we can work together, I think we already have them in place. Good example, there was a program that the Chancellor mentioned that was about to be started at Athens, a logistic program. Well, I learned from Dr. Edmonds' presentation that Alabama A&M has a logistics program, business administration with logistics. So it does, the thing that I think we need to do is to coordinate efforts. Why start a new program if we already have one in place? We know those are the kinds of things I think in education we have to make sure that we are addressing, and that we no longer do that.
I went to your campaign kickoff, and you had 5 prayers at that, and it was clear that faith is an important part of your life. What do you view as the proper relationship between religion and government, if any?
Well, I think it's personal. It's, for me, it's personal. It is the foundation from which I try to live and try to make my decisions and how I deal with people. So that is, for me, the personal part. Now, every day, if you've been to Montgomery, we start every day with a prayer. So that tells you that faith, if you're looking at what we do, appears to be the foundation of each one of the individuals that is seated in those 105 seats in the House.
One of the things, it was back during the previous campaign, I guess the 06 campaign, one of the things on that was to teach a class on the Bible in Alabama schools. Do you recall that?
I do.
Do you think that's a good idea?
Well, if those classes are being taught already. I mean, the Bible as literature is already being taught. So when it's taught, when it's placed in that kind of perspective, I don't see a problem with it.
Do you think that that opens the door to teach other religious texts as literature in schools?
Well, I think that those decisions, you know, we have textbook committees, we have, when you looking at new curriculum, all of that has to go through a process. And when students are taking those classes, I understand that there are some classes that even deal with, have been expanded through world history, where they look at the different types of religions and students are talking about them. So I don't see a problem when it's taught as opposed to somebody espousing his or her own faith and trying to convince students that theirs is the only one or the right one. I think that we are in a diverse society and students should have a right to know the differences, and we should respect that.